Welcome to In Pursuit of Truth. This is your host, Sir Patrick Mack. I am your host with the most Q post, and we are going to get right started. But before we do, I want to take you to the last one on April 3rd, 2018. This is at 17 minutes after the hour of 10. Bunker, forest, blue, April showers, Q, and of course we have the plus, space, plus, plus, space, plus, plus, plus. Well, I'm not going to go into too much of what that means, but I just wanted to show you that I did find this, right here. This is off of NPR, The Secret Bunker Congress Never Used. In a groundbreaking series of reports in 2010, Washington Post reporters Bill Arkin and Dana Priest revealed that 33 building complexes for top secret intelligence work are under construction or have been built in Washington, D.C. and the surrounding area since September 2001. Okay, so before that building boom, however, another secret bunker lay in wait for the apocalypse behind a giant reinforced steel door. For 30 years, it was kept secret. Hidden in West Virginia's Greenbrier Resort was a massive bomb shelter stocked with supplies for members of Congress in case of an emergency. So now I won't go too much into this. I just want to read you one little paragraph here. The story of how the bunker was kept secret for 30 years and how it even got here is stranger than any conspiracy theory. For one thing, it was built as an addition to one of America's most famous luxury resorts, the Greenbrier Resort in the foothills of the Blue Ridge Mountains. So, not exactly sure if that's what Q is talking about by Bunker Forest Blue, but there was another thought, and we are moving on. Now, if you're not familiar with how I do this, I read from right to left. I'm going to read them all first, and then we will go through a little bit of light analysis, and I will let you be on your way. Excuse me. We are starting out here on Q's first post since this is at 52 minutes past the hour of 3. It was not supposed to be revealed. POTUS is not under criminal investigation. Not yet. Traitor. Massive intel sweep. Manafort was a plant. Trace background. Open source. Who was arrested? Non-U.S. Trace background. Open source. Carter Page was a plant. Trace background. Open source. Why is Mueller going after inside plants? Flynn is safe. Define witness. Can a witness hold a position of power or influence while ongoing? Russia, Russia, Russia. Real or fake? Fake. J.A. Seth Rich. MS-13 187 2 in kill brackets -24 distance. MS-13 in kill brackets 13 equals M as in the 13th letter of the alphabet. MSM the wheel. No investigation into WikiLeaks receipt of information. No pull down of NSA metadata trace C, and we are not yet sure about what C is, but we kind of alluded to the fact that it might refer to the chair or refer to the Pope. Don't know yet, but there could be Clinton, could be a lot of other things. Anyway, you tell me. 2, WL. No pull down of NSA metadata, period. Nothing transferred across web. Direct to direct, bypass dump. No direct investigation into DNC computer software. No direct investigation into CS. Now, if you hover over here, this will tell you civil service or Chuck Schumer, but I think in this case it means CrowdStrike. Okay, here we go. FBI, SC, DOJ, Fed, G. Simply Trust, CS. Yeah, I'm going to assume that's CrowdStrike's report on data breach. Hussein Block, Hussein Control, Hussein State Secrets, White House, National Security Articles 1 through 9 buried. Awan attached, America for sale, cheated Obama. Trust the plan, April showers. Okay, and then we have here at 5 minutes after the hour of 4, responding to Q's own post, troops to border, clown black ops, private funds, raised how? Troops at border does what? Impact to who? D's involved. MS-13 illegals roadblock, sex traffic roadblock, children roadblock, drugs roadblock, guns roadblock, China, Russia, pass through intel, pull roadblock, name we don't say, Arizona roadblock, Jeff Flake, Arizona roadblock, big money terminate. The wall means more than you know. The fight for the wall is for so much more. Okay, there we go. And now we're going to move on to 24 minutes after the hour of 4 Q post. Money, power, control. People are simply in the way. Slaves, sheep, pawns, mass extinction events designed to decrease threat level of population. gun control, wars, fake in brackets, top happy in brackets, back end deal in brackets, election rigging, control, your voice does not matter, pharma, class D in brackets, water, air, chemicals pushed for home use cleaning, cancer in brackets, baby on floor, hands in mouth, dash the start in brackets, vaccines, and then not all in brackets, tobacco, opioids, ultimate win, death and money in brackets, the Fed, Rothschild, conspiracy, 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 UK, Germany, 5 days in brackets, choice is yours, revelations, enough is enough. Moving on. Next post, 28 minutes after the hour 4, responding to Q's post or adding on to the post. North Korea defuse. Russia testing new missiles. Russia, new threat. Coincidence. They must maintain threat to retain power or influence. Are you awake? Q. And we move on. 34 minutes after the hour 4, adding on. Quotes, our thoughts and prayers are with the 4 U.S. Marines from the 3rd Marine Aircraft Wing who lost their lives in yesterday's Southern California helicopter crash. We pray for their families and are great at USMC. Their sacrifice will never be forgotten. Q. Now, Q's adding on to all these. 38 minutes after the hour 4. Twitter, clowns. Operation Q-T2810C. False drops, bot push. Future conspiracy push to norms. Bad mixed with good. Taint. They are scared. Adding on once again. 39 minutes after the hour 4. MZ, Mark Zuckerberg, to step down as chairman. MZ out of US at Jack. Good luck. Q. 9 minutes after the hour 6. Example, Gateway Bridge Project, 1.8 million, Cory Booker, Singapore, 3.5 million, Chuck Schumer, Israel, 4,000K, Chris Christie, Mary Pat, who's the wife of Chris Christie, U.S. Omnibus Bill, the gift that keeps on giving, Q. Moving on over here, once again, adding on, 15 minutes after the hour 6, Hussein timeline, January 20th, 17th to today. Cross against POTUS schedule. Cross against White House visitor log from, looks like November 22nd until January 18th, 2017. This will become very relevant soon. Adding on once again, 21 minutes after the hour 6, the Analysis Corporation, TAC, happy hunting, Q. Now we have a post from an Anon showing the Analysis Corporation, their Wikipedia, to which Q responds at 25 minutes past the hour 6. Track edits. Watch for the magic bot. Q. 34 minutes past the hour of 6. Anonymous post. YouTube will add information from Wikipedia to videos about conspiracies. Now we know why YouTube is linking to Wikipedia to verify. Q responds at 43 minutes past the hour of 6. Learning. Follow the loop. 46 minutes after the hour of 6. Used against them. NG, National Guard now active. Refer to old drops regarding SA, most likely Saudi Arabia. National Guard. The wave. Q. 2 minutes after the hour 7. List the estimated wealth of religious organizations. Billions. Vatican Bank. 229 billion. Board of Superintendents. Supervisory Commission of Cardinals. Clown Connection. 1832 Rothschild loan to the Holy See. 16 minutes after the hour of 7. We don't say his name. Adios. The protected flow into Arizona is no more. Under the cover of his health, he will not be seeking another term. A Q says, good, you know what? Quick question. The wall can't just be for stopping drugs, assassins, and child traffickers, which other nations are planning to use Mexico as an attack vector in the event of war. Is there another Zimmerman telegram we don't know about? Q responds at 21 minutes after the hour 7. Would you invade a country whereby a good portion of its citizens are armed? The ultimate deterrent. 57 minutes after the hour of 8. Jared Cohen, coming soon to a theater near you. Q. New trip code. 55 minutes after the hour of 7. We are sincerely appreciative for your kind words and appreciation. It means more than you know. Each one read in full. We are in this together. Where we go one, we go all. 2018 will be glorious. God bless. Responding to a Q who says, I bet he already talked to Putin too. Q responds at 41 minutes after the hour of 9. Peace through strength. Q. Most recent post, 45 minutes after the hour of 9. POTUS will be up all night. Pray. Watch the news tomorrow. Ladies and gentlemen, those are your current Q posts. We are going to back up to the most recent, the oldest of the most recent. How about that? The first post since the last post. You get what I mean. All right, here we go. So, at 52 minutes past the hour of 3, Q says, it was not supposed to be revealed. POTUS is not under criminal investigation. Not yet. Traitor. Well, who was the traitor? Was it McMaster? Who was that traitor? Massive intel sweep. Manafort was a plant. Trace background. Okay, well, let's go quickly into Paul Manafort. This is from 2016. Off of Slate.com. The Quiet American. Paul Manafort made a career out of stealthily reinventing the world's nastiest tyrants as noble defenders of freedom. Getting Donald Trump elected will be a cinch. Mar-a-Lago. Donald Trump's palace is impressive by the standards of Palm Beach, less so when judged against the abodes of the world's autocrats. It doesn't, for instance, quite compare with, I don't know how to say that name, Mezhyria, the gilded estate of deposed Ukrainian President Viktor Yanukovych. Trump may have 33 bathrooms and 3 bomb shelters, but his mansion lacks a herd of ostrich, a galleon parked in a pond, and a set of golden golf clubs. All right, you get the idea. The dude's rich, okay? This is what's important. Ukrainians use the term political technologist as a favored synonym for electoral consultant. Trump turned to Manafort for what seemed as, at first, a technical task. Manafort knows how to bullwhip and wheedle delegates at a contested convention. He's done it before, assisting Gerald Ford in stifling Ronald Reagan's insurgency at the GOP's Summer Classic of 1976. In the conventions that followed, the Republican Party often handed Manafort control of the program and instructed him to stage manage the show. That's about all I want to tell you right there. I think the last line is what's most important, and instructed him to stage manage the show. Okay, well, who was arrested? Non-U.S. Trace background. Well, I guess that could be a few people, but I was kind of thinking about, where am I? This girl was arrested. A self-described sex expert says she will spill information on Trump and Russia to get out of a Thai jail. This is from February 27th. A self-described sex expert whose videos highlighted the ties between one of Russia's richest men and the Kremlin has been jailed in Thailand and is calling for U.S. help, claiming she has information about links between Russia and President Trump. Anastasia, Vashukovich, an escort service worker from Belarus who catapulted to a certain measure of fame after filming a yacht trip with Russian billionaire Oleg Deripaska and Deputy Prime Minister Sergei Prigozhin, was detained in Thailand over the weekend in a police raid on her sex training seminar. While still in custody Tuesday, she published Instagram videos asking U.S. journalists and intelligence agencies to help her. Okay, so could that be the non-U.S. person that we want to trace? Is that what we were talking about? All right. Well, I don't really know, but it could be something. It could be something. It's very interesting. Here's this Russian escort that she's got wrapped up with a bunch of Russian oligarchs here, but does she really have something big or not? Well, she says that she does. She says that it ties Trump to the Russians. She says here, though, if America gives me protection, I will tell everything I know. Miss Vashukovich said on Monday, I'm afraid to go back to Russia. Some strange things can happen. Well, she claims that there's a 25-minute video here posted last month on YouTube by the Russian opposition, which relies heavily on videos and photographs from her. So we've got a lot of stuff going on. There are people that want to shut her up. So is it just this escort that maybe they dumped her off in a Thai jail and hoping people would forget about her? Maybe she's being bold. Is she a plant? Is she just kind of trying to disrupt things with Trump? We don't know. Don't even know if that's the person, but that was somebody who was recently arrested. That's non-U.S. Okay. Carter Page was a plant. Trace background. All right. Well, let's talk about Carter Page. Will Carter Page plead the fifth? Background and history. This is from October 11th, 2017. Don't want to talk much about him. I've talked so extensively about him in my previous videos about the FISA memos, but let's talk about this right here. Forget it. Some background on Page is in order here. He is a globe-trotting 46-year-old American investment banker. He has built a career on deals with Russia and its state-run gas company. Page's resume include a stint in the U.S. Naval Academy, working in arms control at the Pentagon, and a fellowship at the Council on Foreign Relations in New York. Over his career, he's earned 3 graduate degrees, including a PhD from SOAS University of London. Okay, well, Carter Page, he's saying right there clearly that Carter Page was a plant. Carter Page, keep in mind, did not know Trump. Carter Page was likely, I'm assuming, planted there simply because he did have ties to Russia. Now, were they sketchy ties? Maybe yes or no. But I think what's more important is that he was simply there to be put so that it would be linked to the Trump administration and just provide more evidence that the Trump administration was linked to Russia. I think you understand what I'm saying here. Why is Mueller going after inside plants? Well, you got to when you pull a weed, you pull it by the root, right? You got to get the plants. You got to get the plants out. We can't really do anything. We can't really, have a proper investigation until that's done, which moves us on to here. Flynn is safe. Define witness. Can a witness hold a position of power influence while ongoing? Well, can they? Yes or no? Well, that's hard to say, but according to Alan Dershowitz over here on Newsmax.com, Flynn's guilty plea makes him useless as a witness. Former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn's guilty plea to 1 count of lying to the FBI makes him useless as a witness moving forward in Special Counsel Robert Mueller's investigation into Russia and President Donald Trump's election campaign. Harvard Law professor emeritus Alan Dershowitz said Saturday. Well, he's got a point. Okay, he does have a point, but let me just cue you on something here, all right? I don't want to go way into this because we got so much Q stuff, but here's the deal. So Flynn pled guilty, right? Well, that was something that, a lot of people, we don't really necessarily think Flynn is guilty, but if Flynn pleads guilty, it does a couple things. First of all, it, in a way, recuses him. He can't recuse himself clearly, but if he pleads guilty, now he's no longer he's just been punished and he goes away. He basically doesn't have any more information. There's no sort of conflict there with information getting passed. He can stay recused in a way. Now, of course, he gets shamed because he gets he's entered a guilty plea. However, if Trump plans to pardon Flynn, not only is the guilty plea becomes moot because the crime becomes moot, and now he can become a witness. And because he was found guilty so early and removed so early, he recused himself from the connection. I hope that makes sense. I'm being very, very general with that, but I think you get the idea. He can come back in the picture now and be relevant. Does that make sense? I hope so. All right. Russia, real or fake? It's not so cut and dry, but I believe it to be fake. Okay. Now we say Julian Assange, and then Seth Rich. MS-13, 187, 2 in kill brackets, 24 distance. Okay, well, you remember, there was the story that came out recently. We knew Seth Rich was murdered, but we didn't necessarily know by who. And then there was this article talking about these trained killers that killed him. And then we found these guys, 2 guys in the back of a van. I don't want to go into all the links about that. You'll find it. Just look up Seth Rich murder, MS-13. You'll find some videos and whatever you want to find on it. Well, this looks clear here. MS-13, 187 is simply an order to murder. 2 people were killed. Likely the guys found in the van. Maybe 2 of 24. The distance, I don't know. MS-13, 13 equals M. MSM, the wheel. Well, 13 it says to me that MS-13 is clearly working with the mainstream media. Obviously not directly, but indirectly as part of sort of this wheel, and we'll talk about in a second. There's sort of a spoken wheel conspiracy. It's an old idea. It's called the spoken wheel conspiracy idea. The theory or whatever. Spoken wheel theory, I think would probably be the best way to say it. Anyway, my point is that this article was talking about these trained killers going after Seth Rich, but they fired a ton of shots, which assumes to me that they just missed and they were just shooting wild. Well, that sounds like MS-13 to me. That's all I want to say about that right now. Okay? No investigation into WikiLeaks receipt of information. No pull down of NSA metadata trace. C, to WikiLeaks. And again, I think that C is still contested, but remember we talked about that C yesterday. I'm just saying, could it be related to the chair? Seems indirect right now, but maybe it means something else in this context. No pull down of NSA metadata, period. Nothing transferred across web, direct to direct bypass dump. No direct investigation into DNC computer software. No direct investigation into, crowdsource. Okay, so what does this mean? Well, however they got all this WikiLeaks stuff, however all this stuff got passed, it didn't happen online. Somebody had to actually pull it. We already know that. Somebody would have had to physically, put something on a memory card. You get the idea. The crowdsourcing. Remember, they found the Sony leaks first, and then of course they found the data breach. You get the idea. FBI, Supreme Court, DOJ, federal government simply trust crowdsource's report on the data breach? Well, that seems very strange, doesn't it? It seems very strange. All right, well, let's see if I got anything on that. I don't think I have anything on that. Yeah, I do, actually. I want to just talk to you real quick about this. This is Esquire magazine. The Russian expat leading the fight to protect America. At 6 o'clock in the morning on May 6th, Dmitry, well, tough names today, Alperovich woke up in a Los Angeles hotel to an alarming email. Alperovich is the 36-year-old co-founder of the cybersecurity firm CrowdStrike, and late the previous night, his company had been asked by the Democratic National Committee to investigate a possible breach of its network. A CrowdStrike security expert had sent the DNC a proprietary software package called Falcon. You might have heard about that monitors the networks of its clients in real time. Falcon lit up. The email said within 10 seconds of being installed at the DNC, Russia was in the network. Okay, so I'm not going to talk about a bunch of this stuff here, but you get the idea. So that's what, just reminding you about crowdsource. All the links will be below, so you'll be able to read this. Hussein, block. Hussein, control. Remember, we talked about the whitelist. Obama had the BlackBerry thing. They had the whitelist, and only so many people could kind of get through, and other people couldn't. Okay, was that part of this whole data breach that went on? Is that why they were all using BlackBerries, but nobody else could buy BlackBerries? We couldn't buy a BlackBerry. All right. Hussein's state secrets, White House national security articles 1 through 9, buried. Awan attached. Well, remember, Imran Awan was the guy who, all of a sudden dumped all this stuff. Was he the one that was, obviously he was a pawn, but, what did he do with all that information? Why are we not talking about that? Why did that get out of the news so quickly? I'm being very general. I apologize, but I just want to move fast. All right. You get the idea. America for sale, cheating Obama, trust the plan, April showers, and Q. Okay, great. Adding on to that, 5 minutes past the hour 4. Troops to the border. You bet. You've heard all about it. Troops to the border. National Guard, Marines, they're all going. Clown Black Ops, CIA Special Ops, okay? Private funds. Raised how? Most likely Soros. Could be somebody in Saudi Arabia. Could be Muslim Brotherhood. Could be lots of things, but I'm sure it's probably not just one source. Troops at border does what? Well, Troops at border does what? It says we are at war. We are ready. And we're ready to do this. We're not going to do this so low key. We are going to if you want to bring the fight, we're going to bring this into, everyone's going to know about it at this point. Impact, it has a massive impact. We've never had this before. We've never had an actual invasion of our country. Now, we know that people have infiltrated our country, but we've never had a physical invasion, and this is the closest thing that we've had. To who? To everybody. Democrats involved. MS-13, illegals, roadblocks. I implied it on my last video. MS-13 is most likely these guys that are flooding the borders. It's not women and children that we're seeing trying to get in. It's young men. We're not stupid. Sex traffic, roadblock. You get it. Children, roadblock. I think you get it. Drugs, roadblock. Opioids, yes, you get it. Guns, roadblock. You get it. China, Russia, pass-through intel pull, roadblock. That's how all this stuff was happening. I'm not necessarily thinking that happened at the Mexican border. That could have happened at the Canadian border too. Name we don't say. You know who that is? A certain senator out of Arizona who's been real, Arizona, that's a border. Shoot, I grew up there, Tucson. It's a border town. Jeff Flake, Arizona roadblock. Now, I just want to touch on Jeff Flake real quick. As Jeff Flake is a Republican, taking you over to the Washington Examiner. Jeff Flake wants to find a fix for DACA and border security. Now, I don't want to go into him too much. I just wanted to point out who he was and point out that although he is a Republican, he's sort of centrist. And what he's basically proposing with this bill, let me see if I can find it in a general term here. I'll give you this. Flake's bill would give DACA recipients and those who have been in the U.S. illegally since 2012 conditional resident status for 10 years, at which point they would be eligible to apply for a green card. Permanent residency recipients may apply for citizenship after 5 years. The bill's timeline is in line with the Succeed Act's 15-year path to citizenship through the DREAM Act. Includes a shorter plan. Okay, so he's sounds to me like he's kind of trying to find some real legal solutions. Obviously, we're not against immigration. We're against flooding the border with people who want to blow us up. And I think this is an opportunity to be, it's a good situation. Big money, terminate, where they're cutting all the funds for the people who are actually sending the people over here. The wall means more than you know. The fight for the wall is so much more. How true? How true? It is a statement. It is our statement of saying no more. All right. 24 minutes past the hour of 4. Money, power, control. People are simply in the way. Slaves, sheep, pawns, mass extinction events designed to decrease threat levels of population, gun control wars. Okay, well, obviously we know that they've been trying to take guns. It's the only way that they're going to get us to bow down. Really, the only way they're going to be able to get us to kind of buy into their narrative at this point is to win that war. Once they win that war, nothing else matters because they can just take it by force. You get the idea. Election rigging, we get that. Control, your voice does not matter, clearly, but I tend to disagree. Our voice matters big. You got something to say it. Pharma, Class D. Looks like they're talking about Class D drugs. What are Class D drugs? There's all kinds of drugs. I believe marijuana is a Class D drug. Decongestants are Class D drugs, aren't they? You can correct me if you want. I might be wrong, but I think they're just talking about in general. I think that has a lot to do with opioids as well too. Water, air, chemicals pushed for home use cleaning. We're going to start talking a lot about this in the near future, folks. It's going to get even deeper. It doesn't stop with the FISA memo. Cancer, baby on the floor, hands and mouth, the start. Basically, you can see what's being said here. We've been injected with chemicals since the day we were born. We've been dumbed down. We have no idea how brilliant we really are. And hopefully we'll find out one day. Vaccines, not all. Fair enough. There's polio vaccines. There's all sorts of good vaccines. But clearly, not every vaccine is good. Tobacco. A lot of links saying tobacco isn't necessarily directly related, to cancer, but cigarettes are. Opioids are a massive problem, and Trump's been talking about that a lot. You get the idea. Ultimate win, death and money. Yeah, they get to control us. They get to control the population, and they bleed us dry with the money, in the whole process. The Fed. Well, the Fed is set up to keep us in debt. You get the idea. You could make a whole movie on just the Fed. Rothschild. Conspiracy. Yeah, you're telling me. Okay. UK, Germany, 5 days. I'm not exactly sure what this means, but I have a feeling it still ties to Big Pharma. There must be a decision, or must be something that needs to get wrapped up, or is getting wrapped up within 5 days. Choice is yours. Sounds like they may be speaking to not just us, okay? Revelations, enough is enough. Big things are going to come out, most likely, I guess, out of the UK or Germany, maybe regarding Big Pharma within 5 days, or it could be wrapped up in 5 days. Not exactly sure. Moving on. Okay. 20 minutes after the hour 4, North Korea defused. Russia testing new missiles. Russia, new threat. Coincidence? Not at all. Remember, we know this to be CIA funded at this point, or at least that's the Q narrative, okay? So once we get North Korea defused, there still has to be a threat. Otherwise, there's not going to be anything that's kind of contradicting Trump and his process. So clearly, the Democrats, or I shouldn't say the Democrats, the deep state that is really tied to Russia, needs to make sure that Russia still seems like a threat, but neither Putin nor Trump seems to treat each other like a threat. So it's a little strange. They've kind of tried to propagate that, but the leaders themselves haven't really necessarily maintained that. They must maintain a threat to retain power influence. Okay, so you remember North Korea, they defused. Russia shot up this missile, and it looked all cool when it came out of the ground. And then once it got to the sky, they switched over to the Commodore 64 graphics, and it pretended to blow up the whole world, and everyone clapped, and Putin rode off on a unicorn. But the fact of the matter is I doubt that's what really is going to happen. I don't think Russia is the threat. Russia is the narrative. Russia is the perceived threat, and I think Trump's allowing that very clearly. We'll go deeper into that soon. Moving on. 34 minutes after the hour 4, quote, our thoughts and prayers are with the 4 U.S. Marines from the 3rd Marine Aircraft Wing who lost their lives in yesterday's Southern California helicopter crash. We pray for their families and are great at USMC. Their sacrifice will never be forgotten. Well, this is a terrible thing. I want to take you over to the Washington Post. This is truly terrible. April 4th here. Marine helicopter crew of 4 is presumed dead after crash in California, authorities say. I'm not going to go way into this, but I do want to say just this part here. The cause of the crash is currently under investigation, officials said. The names and crew members are being withheld pending notification of family members, according to the statement. That's all I want to say. I have a lot of close connections in the military, and you know, until that stuff gets sorted out, I don't really like to talk too much about it. I think you get the idea. It was probably nefarious. Okay, we're moving on. Adding on to that, 38 minutes after the hour 4, Twitter clowns. Operation Q-T2810C, false drops, bot push, future conspiracy push to norms, bad mixed with good, taint, they are scared. Okay, well, Twitter is pushing this, I'm assuming, a bot that is probably going to be related to Q, and what it's probably going to do is it's going to start, you're going to find it on YouTube too. And as a matter of fact, you know, and I always tell you, you know, if you don't trust me about something, don't trust me, it's fine. But always understand that channels are going to pop up. I'm not going to mention channels, I'm not going to say names, that's not my gig, but there will be channels that will probably lead you to trust them for a while, and then they might kind of slip in something here and there nefarious, and you know, like I said, question everything, okay? Because I think it's going to be more and more difficult to kind of figure out who's who, and once everything gets saturated, you know. So anyway, you get the idea. But with this Operation QT2810C, I couldn't find too much, but I did find this. This is from SEARS.com. Here's an Eclipse Gum Eclipse recorder. It's a little MP3 player, digital music player, whatever, T2810C. Now, I don't know if that's what it's talking about. Could it be possible that there's a group that are using these cheap little things? Because they're not very expensive. Maybe it's these cheap little throwaway things, and they're pushing little narratives, and maybe they're flooding the market with these things. Who knows? Maybe that's why they're cheap, so that they can get out. Maybe these things are bugged, and maybe these things got bots in them. Don't know. That's a theory. Not saying that's what I believe. That's a theory, okay? Now, the only thing else I would say on that number is that I noticed that highlighted here, and of course this was done before it got onto this map, but we have T2, and then if you hover over it, it says Terminal 2. So let's just say that is the narrative. I don't necessarily think so, but let's just say Terminal 2, 810C. Is there such thing as an 810C? There is. There's an EMB 810C Seneca. Was there something to do with an 810C flying it out of a Terminal 2? Don't know. I tend to go with the former, considering that we're talking about Twitter, we're talking about bots. Okay, so just a couple things to think about. Future conspiracy push to norms. This means Q's coming to light, Q's getting flood, bad mixed with good. Like I said, it's all tainted. You're going to find information that's going to be probably partially good, and then it might mix you up. Who knows? You might suspect me of being a bot at some point, and you'd be right to do so. 39 minutes after the hour of 4, Mark Zuckerberg to step down as chairman. Mark Zuckerberg out of the U.S. at Jack. Good luck. Oh my goodness, Mark Zuckerberg, you can't leave. You gotta go to testify before Congress next week. This is out of CNN, April 4th, 2018. Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg will face questions from 2 congressional panels next week about how his company handles its user data. Yeah, well, they want him in the UK too. Where's he going? Is he going out of the country? You going on a trip? You going golfing? Where you going, Mark? Hey, Jack, where you going? Where are these guys going? We got to talk to these guys. 9 minutes after the hour 6. Example, Gateway Bridge Project. 1.8 million Cory Booker, Singapore. 3.5 million Chuck Schumer, Israel. 400,000 Chris Christie, Mary Pat, U.S. Omnibus bill, the gift that keeps on giving. Okay, well, I said earlier when I ran through this, Mary Pat Christie is the wife of Chris Christie. The Gateway Bridge Project is this right here. This is Politico.com. Christie confident of Gateway funding as officials break ground on Portal Bridge project. Governor Chris Christie projected confidence Friday that federal funding for the full Gateway project will be secured as he and members of New Jersey's congressional delegation broke ground on a new portal bridge over the Hackensack River. The bridge is just one part of a much larger $30 billion Gateway project, whose funding remains in limbo as the Trump administration has yet to commit to paying half the cost. So the Trump administration is a little sketchy of this. A deal New York and New Jersey officials worked out with the Obama administration. Okay, well, I'll leave you the link for there. You get the idea of what this is. But what are these things? Cory Booker, 1.8 million. Chuck Schumer, 3.5 million. What are we talking about here? What are we talking about? Well, Cory Booker joins colleagues pledging to reject campaign contributions from corporate PACs. That would be political action committees. Well, but he did take some money. He did take some money, didn't you? Booker accepted $1.8 million from business PACs from 2013 to 2018. Cory, you took some money, Cory. All right. What about Chuck Schumer? Did Chuck Schumer take any money? No, he wouldn't have done that. Oh, yes, he would have. Yes, he would have. The Senate Majority PAC, the Political Action Committee of now retired Democrat Senator Harry Reid, Nevada, was the biggest beneficiary of contributions from Alex, who gave $3.5 million to the PAC between August and November 2016. Oh my goodness, there he is sitting right there. Look at that. There's Chuck Schumer right there. So here, let me take you up above his picture. This is off of Alex Soros's Twitter. Alexander, who had posted pictures of himself on social media day drinking with Democratic leadership, including Senator Chuck Schumer, Democrat out of New York, has quietly stepped up as a major donor to liberal campaigns and causes in recent years. Throughout the 2016 election cycle, Alex increased his donations to Democrats by millions of dollars, the Washington Free Beacon previously reported. Wow, so Chuck Schumer's getting money from PACs, and Cory Booker's getting money from PACs. Is Chris Christie's not getting money from PACs? Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Politico magazine. This is from a year ago. New super PAC drops more than $400K against normally safe North Jersey Republicans. So you got Chris Christie from New York. You got Booker. Where's Booker? All right. Senator Cory Booker. He's a New Jersey Democrat. And you got Soros from New York. New York, New Jersey, Gateway Project. Get it? Got it? Good. All right, we're moving on. Oh, that's a ton of Q posts today. 15 minutes after the hour 6, Hussein timeline 1/20/17 to today. Cross against POTUS's schedule. Cross against White House visitor log through November to January of just a couple days before Obama ends his presidency. Okay, so this is pretty interesting indeed, and I just want to take you to, where can I find it here? Sorry, I'm jumping around a little bit. All right, this is the Vanguard from 2016, and all I really want to say is really just give you the title. There's only one U.S. president, I am, till January 20th, 2017, Obama warns Trump. Okay, well, that was the last day that Obama is president. Okay, so from there to today, where has he been going? Well, he's been going almost everywhere that the president's been going, but he's been going either before or directly after, but he always seems to be going right around the same time. So he's either trying to shore up deals or find out who's talking, but you know something's going on. Okay, I think that's about all I want to say there. This will become relevant very soon. I'm not going to get into visitor logs. There's too many Q posts. Okay, so please don't necessarily correct me. I can't really get it yet. It's just too much. All right, 21 minutes after the hour of 6, Q says, the Analysis Corporation, happy hunting. Okay, great. Well, what is the Analysis Corporation? Let's go find out. Well, this is a Wikipedia right here. Okay, this is funded by none other than John Brennan. How about that? The Analysis Corporation was the intelligence solution business of Global Defense Technology and Systems, now renamed Sotera Defense Solutions. You might have heard that name before. It's now a defense contracting company. Cool. I'm not going to go back into that just yet because it's on the next post. An Anon posts this saying, here we found it. Okay, founded by Brennan. Okay, Q responds, track edits, watch for the magic bot. Okay, so all I want to say about this, what I think he means with this, is that you go into this Wikipedia and you look at this Analysis Corporation, and there's probably a lot of nefarious stuff going on. Of course, it's Brennan, but you can edit it. I can edit it right there. You can edit without logging in, okay? It says here, log in or create an account to track your edits. Okay, so if you want to log in, you want to track, I'm not going to do it. I'm already under enough fire from just about everything on the computer. I don't need one more. But you get the idea. Edits are going on. You could log in for yourself and see the edits. John Brennan or somebody or the magic bot is making some edits regarding this foundation, or excuse me, what did we call it? The corporation. All right. 21 minutes after the hour of 7, Q says, the Analysis Corporation, happy hunting. Okay, great. Well, what is the Analysis Corporation? Well, this is a Wikipedia right here. Okay, so all I want to say about this, what I think he means with this, is that you go into this Wikipedia and you look at this Analysis Corporation, and there's probably a lot of nefarious stuff going on. Of course, it's Brennan, but you can edit it. I can edit it right there. You can edit without logging in, okay? It says here, log in or create an account to track your edits. Okay, so if you want to log in, you want to track, I'm not going to do it. I'm already under enough fire from just about everything on the computer. I don't need one more. But you get the idea. Edits are going on. You could log in for yourself and see the edits. John Brennan or somebody or the magic bot is making some edits regarding this foundation, or excuse me, this corporation. All right. Now we're here 34 minutes after the hour of 6. YouTube will add information from Wikipedia to videos about conspiracies. Okay, well, we just saw the Analysis Corporation that you can edit on Wikipedia. Now YouTube's going to basically what this means is that YouTube, who's wrapped up with Google, who's wrapped up with Twitter, you get how it works. They're all linking now to Wikipedia, which anybody can go in there and edit. Any old knucklehead can go in there. Learning, follow the loop. Well, I'm assuming the loop has something to do with probably regular bots that are looking for certain things, omitting some, adding others. You get the idea. Remember, Q said tainted information. Okay, 46 minutes after the hour 6, used against them. National Guard, now active. Refer to old drops regarding Saudi Arabia and National Guard, the wave. Well, the wave, I'm assuming, is this big wave. They keep referring to this wave of, illegals coming in through the border. National Guard's being activated. Now, we're not going to go to old drops because we've got so many new drops, but Saudi Arabia, are they funding them? We talked about that earlier. Is Muslim Brotherhood funding them? Are they Muslim Brotherhood? Oftentimes these shooters and stuff like that tend to be related. All right, you get the idea. Now we're at 2 minutes after the hour of 7. List the estimated wealth of religious organizations. Well, it's billions. It is. He answered it for us. It adds up to billions. Vatican Bank, $229 billion. Good Lord. Board of Superintendents, Supervisory Commission of Cardinals, Clown Connection, we know that's the CIA, 1832 Rothschild loan to the Holy See. Well, let's refer to that. Let's go to our favorite source for true trusted news, Wikipedia. 1832 Rothschild loan to the Holy See. The 1832 Rothschild loan to the Holy See was a financial loan arranged between the Rothschild family in the persons of James Meyer de Rothschild and Karl Meyer von Rothschild and the Holy See of the Catholic Church during the pontificate of Pope Gregory XVI. The loan agreed on was for a sum of 400,000, I'm assuming is that pounds or lira, equivalent to 34.1 million pounds in 2016. All right, in the aftermath of the Napoleonic, good Lord, I'm having a hard time reading. In the aftermath of the Napoleonic Wars, there was a return to the politics of throne and altar in Europe. Around this time, the Rothschild family of Jewish bankers from Frankfurt had arisen to a position of prominence as court Jews. Scions of this family established themselves in several European power centers, including in Catholic countries, such as at Vienna in the Austrian Empire of Clemens von Metternich. Okay, you get the idea. We know all about the Rothschilds. Okay. And we saw those pictures of the Pope kissing, the guy who is indeed not, by the way, not a Rothschild. Okay, the picture of the Pope kissing the man, it's not a Rothschild. I'll go into that maybe a little bit later, but he is actually you can find him on YouTube and stuff like that. It's not him. Okay. So we don't say his name. We know that's a senator from Arizona. Well, adios, pendejo. Under the cover of his health, he will not be seeking another term. He's got brain cancer. He can't serve another term. I'll bet you what else he can't do. He probably can't stand trial. Enough said. All right, moving on. 21 minutes after the hour of 7. Now, this is in response to an Anon who says, good stuff, quick question, the wall can't just be for stopping drugs, assassins, and child traffickers, which other nations are planning to use Mexico as an attack vector in the event of war. Is there another Zimmerman telegram we don't know about? Q responds, would you invade a country whereby a good portion of its citizens are armed? The ultimate deterrent. Okay, well, what is the Zimmerman telegram? We'll go into this real quick. The Zimmerman telegram, or Zimmerman note, was a secret diplomatic communication issued from the German Foreign Office in January 1917 that proposed a military alliance between Germany and Mexico in the prior event of the United States entering World War I against Germany. Mexico would recover Texas, Arizona, and New Mexico. The proposal was intercepted and decoded by British intelligence. Revelation of the content enraged the American public opinion, especially after the German Foreign Secretary Arthur Zimmerman publicly admitted the telegram was genuine on March 3rd and helped generate support for the United States declaration of war on Germany in, incidentally, April. Okay, so you get the idea. And, growing up, like I said, on the border, this was something that we were familiar with and we were taught in kind of our local history and, da-da-da-da-da. But you get the idea. You can't invade us. We got arms. We got the most powerful military in the world. And we've got smart citizens who own guns and know how to use them. So what do you do? Well, you bring them over. You have families. You dreamers. You have dreams, and you come in, you have your dreams, and then your babies have dreams, and next thing you know, boom! Jared Cohen coming soon to a theater near you, 57 minutes after the hour of 8. Well, who's Jared Cohen? Jared Cohen, he's that dude from Google Ideas. What's he doing lately? Well, as of today, he's talking about JigSaw at MIT Digital. He's having a seminar. He's going to talk about JigSaw. What's JigSaw? What is JigSaw? JigSaw is a program. How could technology make people in the world safer? I don't know, Jared. You tell me. Safer from attacks on free speech. What? Hey, well, free speech. Okay. Safe from online harassment. Yeah, we need safe spaces online. Safer from violent extremism. Q followers and right-wing crazies. Safer from injustice and corruption. It's so true. Thanks, Jared, for bringing this up. You get the idea. He's talking about JigSaw. He's doing it today. He's going to be coming soon to a theater near you. Dun, dun, dun. All right. 19 minutes after the hour of 9. We are sincerely appreciative for your kind words and appreciation. It means more than you know. Each one read in full. We are in this together. Where we go one, we go all. 2018 will be glorious. God bless. Most likely just reading the the Anons that post on 8chan and whatever. So that's just a personal note. It's really nice. And Anon says, I bet he already talked to Putin too, to which Q says, peace through strength. Well, I've already talked about what I think about Putin and what's going on. And now we have one that is our last post, 45 minutes after the hour of 9. Q says, POTUS will be up all night. Pray. Watch the news tomorrow. Okay, well, for me, that's going to be most likely tonight. And as you guys are waking up tomorrow, hopefully I'll have more for you. I anticipate a lot more. This one doesn't have the greatest tone, to be honest with you. We don't know yet. We're going to have to watch the news. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for sticking with me. I know it was long, and I know I couldn't go in as depth as I'd like to, but you can see all the different tabs I got open there. There's a ton of stuff to cover. Thanks for hanging out with me. Those are your Q posts. If anything else comes up, I will let you know. Until then, this is Sir Patrick Mack with In Pursuit of Truth, and I would like you to stay, stay inside if it's raining.